Well, first, the Rung was able to pick up Malphite and destroy everyone, and Pulse, come on, it's a cat. The kid's 3 months old and did correctly predict that RNG would win game 2. The only person on this test that predicted that correctly is my analyst over here, Clement Chu. Raz, unfortunately, why can't you predict well? Why can't you analyze the way Clement
You
analyzes?
predicted the same damn thing!
I am the host of today's LPL broadcast. I am indifferent and not biased, unlike Raz. So, Raz, how does it feel to be wrong?
Doesn't feel good. I'm just saying, the best thing about it is that I thought that everyone would forget. And the only thing ingrained in their memory is just a Malphite ult every single damn time. But it didn't work.
Let's actually bring it back to the start of this match, because the Malphite matches, the Malphite ultimates were beautiful to watch. It was an interesting pick that we saw, but the start of the game already, there was disaster for Invictus Gaming. Ning decided that he was going to carry on the trend of moving into the jungle and trying to take certain camps that he shouldn't, and was made paid for it very early into the match.
It's really terrible to say this, but Ning really has been underperforming, and he has been the major weakness of IG for a long time. It's his coordination with Rookie. Individually, they're great players. When they work together, they just don't seem to get it. They're never in sync. They're always in the wrong place. And the first blood and the double buffs going over to Zoe, that's just like, that just starts to snowball the wrong way.
Which is so weird, Raz, because that's night and day. Like, game 1, that's an MVP performance, locking down Uzi, making the game-winning plays with Rookie playing Galio, and then games 2 and 3, we just see him not have the best performances to start the matches.
It's just for me, it's a communication drop-off, because if it was a supported play going in for the 1v1, we had a bit of a debate who would be able to win out in the 1v1, but ultimately he got the jump on him and then realized he had 0 support.
He got
it was
the
Zoe
wrong
coming.
way.
Exactly. Yeah. Zoe's coming in and you're like, wait a second, why did I even do this to begin with? So ultimately, you're right. It started the ball rolling in the opposite direction. RNG was way better off. Zoe was going to be able to take the lane suddenly versus Syndra. It was a rough start for Invictus Gaming.
It definitely was a rough start for IG. They fought back in the early parts of the mid-game, were actually able to equalize against RNG, but then a chaotic fight bottom. Again, Ning used the ultimate for a very short range, knocked an ultimate, the Rung gets into the bottom lane, and disaster strikes.
It's just so beautiful to see the Rang come in, because mostly the Let Me going towards Malphite every single damn time he finds himself going up against the Aatrox. He's been coming in super sick for RNG lately.
Yeah, and I was actually quite surprised that Invictus Gaming decided to follow through with the teleport right here, because this is a very bad position for them. He gets the triple man knock-up, and Aatrox just gets kited to death in terms of the bot line, back line. There's nothing he can do right there, and I honestly felt that IG should have backed off after the initial fight. They actually forced themselves into a bad position by the channel from Duke in the top lane.
And from there, they're able to pick up enough of a gold lead. I mean, Malphite was able to stabilize the lane against Aatrox, and then it was just ultimate after ultimate after ultimate, and Malphite just had a highlight reel from then onwards.
We have to note about this. This is actually a very planned decision from RNG to keep Aatrox out of the entire team fight. Like, Malphite was able to get so big because there was no pressure in the lane. Like, he constantly was camped over and over, and IG's composition where they were trying to pick people off never worked because they were always running 5v5 into RNG. They never got the split pushing from the Aatrox. Good read by Karsa.
And this is one of the few times that we have a chance to talk about Let Me. Of course, Karsa, you mentioned had a great game as well. Let Me has had a phenomenal start to the split. And I felt like his responses to Aatrox as a pick has been excellent. Of course, I already mentioned the Malphite plays that he's been able to come through with, but also there's one pick with Shen where he was going up against BLG, had the Thornmail, was absolutely out trading him in side lanes. So we just get to have these plays come in time and again where Let Me is showcased to be an excellent team fighter, man of the match. He deserved it here today.
What a handsome man at that as well. Let Me with the MVP
Is that a gang sign?
What? No, it is. You don't even come from a ghetto.
What?
No, that's not a gang sign. That's not a gang sign.
Both of you, calm down. He's tranquil, okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
As a forest.
That's true. He's burying people. Of course he's tranquil. It's like, on you go.
Oh my goodness.
He's the Undertaker.
I need to get these two idiots off my desk as soon as possible. What the heck is going on? We went from complimentees to Let Me to what? Raz, I'm done with you.
I'm just saying.
I'm off this broadcast tomorrow, thank goodness.
He had an excellent performance. The man was pretty gangster here today. All right. So really strong play from him, and I want to see him to be able to buff him up going forward, because RNG as a team, every single time we want to be able to push them and call them a superstar lineup, because they brought in Karsa from the LMS. They had the mid lane. Xiaohu's been performing excellently, but most of the time, they stop at the top lane. Because no one really gives Let.Me the due respect that he is starting to showcase that he's earned. So I would love to see Let.Me continue on with this performance because RNG is showcasing that they can do very well in lane and that they can outperform in teamfights.
He had a fantastic performance at MSI as well. I mean, even during their mic checks, you can see a couple of very crucial highlight plays from his Shen, great shadow dash flashes. You were talking about it earlier, and the fact that now he has these unorthodox picks like the Malphite showcasing his ability top lane. However, RNG as a whole just looked holistically better in Game 2 and 3. I know, Clement, you said at Game 2 they should have lost. Do you think that this was a match that definitely was in RNG's court?
This one they definitely should have won. I think there's they had a great early game plan. Like Flash Wolves back in the LMS were the premier Ashe team just because it gave Karsa so much advantage in terms of the jungle. If you think of that pick-off they did onto Rookie, it was from a hawk shot to start it off. It's so hard to prevent these things from happening, and they shut down the Aatrox as well, which I think is a huge point if you think about Let.Me and the LPL in general. We've always had this weakness in the top lane, but Let.Me has shown that a blue-collar Chinese top laner can shut down Korean split pushers. That has never really happened in the history of LPL, and it's starting to show now. So I think this is in terms of the timeline we're living in, it's an incredibly remarkable point we have to pay attention to.
Because even moving into MSI, I think Frostgren mentioned it during the cast itself, there was questions. Who's going to MSI of RNG? Is it going to be Tatai and Let.Me that get to share the spotlight, or is it going to be Cast as well as XG? And a few people even surprised when they saw that it was Let.Me that was going over to Tatai. A lot of people said, okay, Tatai is going to be the starting roster, then it's between Let.Me and maybe Cast, or Let.Me and maybe XG who gets it. No, it's Let.Me who's going to be starting. Starts the day, fantastic player, great to see. And we got to see also Casa play different styles too. RNG experimenting with gold funneling as well. Didn't work out for them in game number 1. But Uzi played in 3 different lanes today. He started in the mid lane, went to the top lane in game 2, and then went to the bottom lane finally in game number 3.
It's just the flexibility of knowing he just needs to get out of lanes proper. Ashe is a phenomenal matchup versus Lucian until, of course, Lucian has the ability to go for those all-in trades. So he found himself a safety in the bottom lane. He went to the bottom lane this time. When he was going the Vayne pick, obviously the top lane was the most safe approach for him. So I just love the fact that RNG as a team seems very fluid in their approach and pick and back.
I will say that even with all the adaptation, I think a lot of those adaptations actually put themselves into a lot of danger. What they're saying by sticking to the ADC, I think what they're saying is that we are the best teamfight team. We're going to play this teamfight style with the marksman, and we're not going to stray from our strengths. The early part stuff, it's actually kind of doubtful. But the late game, the past the 35 minutes, I think they're spot on where they're strong at.
Invictus Gaming still looking a little bit shaky as well. We saw some nerves coming out from Jackie Love, especially in that second match when he picked up the Drafe and looked fantastic in game 1, but fell through there. And we talked about Ning as well as Rookie Synergy as well. They're going to be moving into Rift Rivals next week. So curious to see how they perform there, because now they're still 5.